right, it's time for 5 fast questions for me. Are you ready, Frank?
Yeah, sure, shoot.
All right, here we go.
What's the most fun sport to play?
Now soccer, but back in the day, football.
What's the most suspenseful movie ever?
Rear Window.
What's the most nostalgic childhood song?
The He-Man theme song.
Okay. Next.
Okay.
What hobby would you like to take up?
I'd like to take up hiking.
Kidnapping.
That's a hobby?
Next question. What would be the worst thing to scream during church? I think a few of those.
Oh, yeah.
Body of Christ. Oh, yeah.
This, or you could just yell,
Fast question.
so glad this priest didn't touch me.
We got to go through these now. All right, Frank has sent me all the questions now so I can see them so we can get through them. What is the most fun sport to play? I said soccer now and football. Football back in the day was great because you could take being tackled.
See, I would. Football
It didn't hurt
was
as
always
much.
fun. But I enjoyed baseball except for being in the batter's box. Everything else I enjoyed playing baseball, but being in the batter's box, I hated that.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed baseball back in the day. I didn't mind being in the batter's box because when we played, like in the neighborhood, we played with tennis balls.
Man, I used to get hit by every pitcher known to man as
So
a
did
child. I would go into the batter's box just wanting to leave because I was getting nailed all over the place.
I actually got sent to the hospital from a pitch in 7th grade.
Hit you in the balls.
No, hit me in the ear. It knocked me out. And then when I landed, the way that my head hit the ground, they thought I'd broken my neck because I just ragdolled it and I hit. And so all I remember is this kid was throwing gas. Like he's one of those 7th graders or an 8th grader he'd already had puberty. Like the kid was just a monster. And so he's just throwing heat. And I would always crowd the plate because I always wanted to make sure that I could hit that outside pitch. And so I leaned in and it hit me in the ear hole. And the next thing I remember was waking up and seeing my coach running over and my dad running over. And they were like, just stay down. Don't move. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And they were like, you got knocked out. We're calling an ambulance. Just stay down. Don't move. So they strapped me to the board. They shipped me off to the hospital. They did a bunch of x-rays. I basically sprained my neck. There was no breaks. There was no nothing going on there. I still had, all my extremities. And I actually made it back to the game before it was over. And I think we ended up winning too, which was kind of...
I actually have two stories of crazy stuff like that happening. One to a batter, one to a pitcher. When I was in high school, I was on second base, and our batter hit the ball directly back to the pitcher, and it hit him right below the eye socket.
Ooh!
And it hit so loud, it sounded like when you're hitting meat with the mallet and like tenderizing it.
Yep.
And the ball hit him and went straight up in the air 10 feet. The kid, I just remember he was in shock, and he was just had his arms out, was just like running around, and like his dad yelled, freeze. He ended up going to the hospital. It broke his orbital bone. I was in an adult rec league back in like 2004, and our pitcher was trying to throw a curve, and the ball didn't curve. And the batter thought it was going to curve, and it didn't curve. And it caught the guy right in his jaw, and it broke his jaw. And like his mouth was hanging down off to the side from where the thing hit him. But those are the two wildest things I've seen. And we had a guy that threw a ball in from center field, and his arm got split in half, broken in half.
Oh, God!
Right when he was throwing it. Yeah, and like someone said you could hear the pop. I can hear the pop. He threw the ball, and I just remember him going straight down on the ground. I didn't think anything of it. And then they go out there, and his arm is just hanging like L-shaped the wrong way from where it just broke in half.
There was one that we had when I played softball down in Florida. I kept trying to warn everybody because a lot of the guys that were on my team never really played baseball all that much. And you're not wearing helmets in softball, but it's always an interesting dynamic when it comes to softball like that, because you have essentially the guys who played the sport back in the day, and Some take it too seriously. Others are just actually really good at it. And then there's other people who just never played and they want to get into playing softball. And I kept trying to warn all the guys, when you're running through a bag, hold your arm up, because there's no telling if the guy on first base or second base, whoever is going to catch the ball, and that thing could be fucking coming in there hot. And sure as shit, I had just told these guys to do that. And one of the guys hits a ground ball to third to short. And the guy that fields it was just this monster of a guy that you could tell played at least probably into college. And he fucking whips that thing over there. And you just hear this where it just fucking hits the guy right in the cheek. He takes like 2 to 3 steps and stumbles down. As we come running out of the dugout, he turns around and it's just blood pouring out of this guy's mouth. So they call the ambulance. He doesn't want to take the ambulance because it's crazy expensive. So they drive him to the hospital. Turns out he broke it in like 3 places. It was completely separated off. Like, it was all messed up. So newsflash, if you end up playing adult softball, cover your fucking face while you're running through the bag, man. Good God. But yeah, so I said football because I could take the tackle. Because I wasn't thinking, when you asked that question, my brain didn't go to the organized sports that I played. It went to the neighborhood stuff. Yeah, the neighborhood stuff that we played. And now I like playing soccer because you get to stand around a lot. And
baseball's the same thing, or softball's the same thing.
That's true. I mean, you can, but I really do enjoy playing softball. So the second question, Land, we got to get your answers on these. What was yours? What's your most fun sport?
Oh yeah, you guys forgot about me. Everybody forgets about me. So I know I was going to say softball. I was going to say softball and bowling.
You don't like? Remember, Frank said he could turn us into 200 bowlers.
I could. Give me a month and a half. You guys will be 200 bowlers.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to work. My dad's a really good bowler, and he can get me to do any better than I am.
Sometimes it's harder to listen to bowlers. Your own family. Yeah.
Next
is from people.
Next question. What is the most suspenseful movie ever? And I went to Rear Window, 1954, with James Stewart. What would you guys say when it comes to the most suspenseful movie ever? Because I briefly thought of Event Horizon.
Mimic.
Oh, the one with
Josh Brolin and
what's her face? Mira Sorvino?
Yeah, and the bugs that they got they cover their face and look like humans.
Yeah.
That one used to freak crap out of me, man. They do the little when they before they kill somebody. That was weird, man. That was pretty good. That's all like in the subway and stuff. Hold on,
I gotta clip that because I'm gonna use that sound effect. That's gonna be the new sound when you guys get something correct. It's just gonna be Frank going.
I ate a gummy. All
right, Lan, what is the most suspenseful movie?
I don't know. This is a hard one for me because I really don't watch a crap ton of suspenseful movies. But
Care Bears,
dude, that Care Bear stare.
That was pretty rough.
Anybody ever notice that the way that they stand when they're doing that, it looks like they're just coming on everything?
Wow.
All right.
Think about it, like they're all, and it's all like, come on.
They do this with their little paws before they shoot out. Especially the rain cloud one, and the one's like, I'm gonna give you my sunshine.
And then they go, oh yeah.
Sure we watched the right Care Bears?
I would actually say, and it's more so for like the last 45 minutes, half hour of the movie, but The Departed, and it's the original version of The Departed.
Ooh, yeah. I'd say it's a solid choice there. Again, in the chat, if you guys want to play along, you're more than welcome to. So far, the first 2 questions were, what is the most fun sport to play? And then, what is the most suspenseful movie ever? Crispy Critters is asking, what did I want to know about the Midwest? Oh, I was wondering about tornadoes. Because tornadoes. Looking on social media, obviously there's a lot more videos because cameras are more readily available for everybody. So is it one of those things that social media is making it look like this is a bigger uptick, or are we just getting a lot more tornadoes and this is just terrifying and I should avoid the Midwest at any way, shape, or form? All right, Beard, have a good one, buddy. Dude, Beard, pictures, man. Pictures from Skywalker Ranch, buddy. I got to figure out the chat thing. That disappearing really kind of pisses me off.
Make sure you ask them about the salad dressing thing. It's a great idea.
Yes, they need to create a tauntaun salad dressing. Would it be tauntaun?
Or you could do Ewok and have the Ewok going.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Lan?
Said it smells better on the outside.
And I thought they smelled bad on the outside. All right, next one was
a commercial.
What's the most nostalgic childhood song? My brain went a couple different spots here. Is that I first was kind of thinking almost the Muppet Babies theme song, which I have sung before. You can find it here on my YouTube channel. Muppet Babies, we make our dreams come true. That's all you get now. You got to go find the rest on YouTube. But I
just a little tease.
I said He-Man, right?
Yeah, you said
He-Man.
Like that right there. I think it was this year.
I have the power.
During the holiday season, I actually went back and watched the He-Man holiday special. And you want to talk about absolutely, it was on YouTube. If you just getting sucked into total nostalgia was fucking awesome. Absolutely. I loved it. It was great. I might have been a little high. I'm just saying. It was fantastic. All right. So, for Lan, what's the most nostalgic childhood... Jesus Christ. What is the most nostalgic childhood
I stumble
song?
on words.
Beat It, Michael Jackson.
All right.
I was a kid that whole album was my entire life.
Now, Frank is going to say his most nostalgic childhood song is Eat It from...
Weird Al
Yankovic. No, mine would be theme songs as well. It'd be a few of them. The Full House theme song, Pee Wee's Playhouse, and Perfect Strangers. For whatever reason, those three theme songs just get you in that zone where it's like you remember being a kid.
Oh yeah, they totally do, man. Every single one of those. All right. Next question was, what hobby would you like to take up? I would have said gardening, but I actually recently did that. I got myself a little raised planter, and I got some shishito peppers and some other kinds of peppers and some chamomile and some what the fuck else do I have in there? Some lavender, some dill, and cilantro. No marijuana yet. But I think hiking. It's something I want to do. There's a lot of trails around where I live, and I'd like to take the dog out and get her up running around, but yeah, hiking. What about you guys? Is there a hobby that you guys want to take up?
I mean, I already draw and paint, so those are already there. And I always pimping. Is that a hobby?
Well, it ain't easy. So
it ain't easy.
It ain't easy, Bim. No, mine. You know what? I always thought wood carving, like getting, like when you drive and you see like big pieces of wood on the side of the road, and you're like, damn, I wonder what I could carve out of that if I ever had any skill. Like if it would be cool, if it would look like Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Like if it was something like that.
Plank from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Good reference.
So yeah, I think wood carving would be fun, honestly.
What about you, Lan? The hobby you want to take up?
I don't know.
You want to retake up
hobbies?
You want to retake up drawing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
By the way, in case nobody knows, Alan is a fantastic artist.
Was.
I'm pretty sure you would be able to draw just fine. Okay, how about this? Well, okay, look, just a heads up. There's no stream next week because I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to be in Scottsdale for a work retreat. So this gives Lan 2 weeks
to draw.
Here, before we wrap up tonight's stream, what do we want him to draw?
Oh my God, this is going to be dumb. But anyway, back to the original question. Fuck.
A Care Bear coming on He-Man.
A Care Bear stare. They're all, Here, look at me. Look at me.
She-Ra. On She-Ra.
Look at me.
On She-Ra.
You're gonna pause this, and this is what you're gonna draw. You ready?
Yeah, or Skeletor making that face.
He-Man.
Oh my God.
Fucking sploosh. All right, what hobby would you want to take up? We're running out of time.
I don't know. Like I said, I have a lot of hobbies already, but I was telling the guys before we started, I kind of want to get back into sports card collecting.
There you go.
That would be good.
That'd be fun.
You did just buy a bunch of soccer cards, right?
Yeah. Little small boxes and shit. It was fun.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. All right, and the fifth and final question is, what would be the worst thing to scream during church? Oh, yeah. I'm just saying. Anybody got anything better than that?
You know what? My brain is so programmed to not speak at church that I can't think of anything.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember I went to church with my grandma. I was maybe 11 or 12, I think. And for some reason, I thought it was funny to yell out, "Bombaclat!"
Jesus Christ is feeling irie.
And I don't even know why. Like, we were sitting up in the balcony. My sweet, sweet grandma's my mom's mom, who was just the absolute, just nicest woman. And it was my sister and I were with her because I think my parents were out of town. So she took us to church. And I go, "Rastafari, bombaclat!" Like, really fucking loud. And credit to my grandma. All she did is she just took my hands in her hand and held it nicely. And that shut me the fuck up. It like
one, I would yell the steeple, and the only thing the priest touched. Second, I went to a Catholic elementary school, and when I was in like third or fourth grade, on Wednesdays they'd make you go to church service to fill the church for the older people that went for the ones that went. We had 2 kids, and I don't know why they decided to do this. There was this huge statue of Jesus, on the cross. Jesus. And they started yelling in the middle of service, "Jesus's foot moved. We saw it. Jesus's foot moved." And the whole service stopped and was looking at the statue to see, because people were actually believing, these 2 kids, that the foot had, you had people dropping on their knees and praying like, "Oh my God, it moved." Like they caused a straight up, the priest had to take the 2 kids in the back and basically
beat the shit out
to him. Like, we know you're full of crap. Like, we're gonna pull the curtain away real quick. I know you're full of crap right here. And they had to come out and apologize and claim that they didn't do it. They had like most of the school and a good 40 people almost thinking that the statue's foot had
oh my God
had moved.
The fact that anybody would have believed it was sad.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, Jesus' foot
Although
moved.
I will say there was this one time the whole family was at church and me and my sister started quoting Anchorman. Yeah. And we just could not stop laughing. My mom was so pissed at us. It was the funniest shit ever, though.
It's the pleats.
Like they would say "Amen," and then me and my sister would go, "Okay."